I'm Vanessa, Joy wedding and portrait photographer here in New York and New Jersey, and today we are using this itty bitty little flash, the EL100, here in the studio paired with the M50 Mark II. Got a deep red Savage backdrop here, and Nikki, our gorgeous model, is wearing a deep red lipstick. So why not have a little bit of fun, but not use a ton of expensive gear, which you do see around in my studio, but we're not going to use it. We are limited to these things right here and a couple little light modifiers. So first things first, just want to get a nice, bright, vibrant portrait of her, and I'm going to use this V-flat to do that. So I'm going to bounce light into this V-flat to get it into her face, create a nice, big, flattering light, and then we'll make some adjustments. So I am shooting with the 32mm 1.4 lens. It's a pretty great lens. All right, let's go. So first thing I'm going to do is just get a basic exposure for what I want it to be without the flash. So we've got that all set. Then I've turned this on to just group A so that I can come into my settings and control through the camera the actual settings for the flash. So we're just gonna start at 116 and see what we get. Now the important part is I'm bouncing light right into here. That's what I want. It's gonna create the big, large light at a flattering angle on her. And let's see what we get. Picture one. That actually looked really good. Nice starting at 1/16. I'm just gonna double check on my histogram. It actually is a little bit dark according to my histogram, so what I'll do, I like what's happening on the background. I think I'm just gonna go down because I can, because autofocus in this is amazing. Let's just go down to 1.6 and see what happens. Nice. Now my histogram's looking better. See how it's all the way up here? Much better. And let's just take a look at that photo. Nice, even little bit of shadow back here, but not a ton. So let's take a bunch of photos like this. Love that. Take the hand that's in front and just kind of bring it back this way. Beautiful. Love that. Cute. Nice. All right. So we got a couple shots like that. Now I want to try something different. I've got gels here. You're probably thinking, what the heck are you going to do with the gel? Well, the truth is, while a lot of this light is flashing and hitting right here, some of it is spilling forward. So if I put a gel right here, that's going to allow me, I'm even going to turn this a little bit more flat that way so that more spreads this way. That's going to allow me to take one of these gels and use it as like a fill light. So I can use a fill color, so at least in theory, right? So let's just put this right about there. It's still going to bounce off of that, probably right there, and hold it up so my arm doesn't get in the way. And let's see what we get. Let's see if I actually get any fill. Yeah, we totally get fill. Look at the difference of this. There's the photo before and there's the photo after, and you can see in the shadows it just tints ever so slightly red. So very slightly between the two of them you can see the difference. It does come a little bit across her whole face, but not entirely. Let's try this with a different color. Let's try it with the orange. And this is not like drastic differences, but it's certainly a lot of fun. I want to do it kind of like this, so it's not really blocking too much of the light that's hitting the board. Let me see. Yeah, that looks great. Now we got a nice warm tone to it. Cute. Love it. Now, you don't have to stay vertical. This little baby moves around. So let's try that and get some horizontal. Horizontal, where you can see the Savage backdrop. Nice. It's definitely affecting the overall image too, but mostly the shadows. So that's fun. All right, last little trick. With this little flash, we've got a really cool hat here. But if I photograph her with this hat just as is, let me just show you what it looks like. This way. So let's take a picture like this. All right, it's cute. This one was a little bit overexposed. Let me just change that. All right, there we go. It's okay, but it's really not giving the drama that I want from it. And we could change a few things to do that. This right here on the Speedlight pulls up, and now this is your tele. So it's zooming in your light just a little bit. So I'm gonna do that. And then instead of using this large light source, the V flap, I'm gonna pull in a reflector and hold it fairly close to the flash to reflect back at her, but it's gonna be very pinpointed. So we're going to get more of a pinpoint of light versus this big burst of light all over the place. And you're gonna be able to do it to an extent with this tiny little flash. Now, I won't change my settings because I want you to see what you have to do and why. So we're just gonna use this little halo reflector. Now the hard part about this is really getting it exactly where you want. You have to bring out all of your pool skills. Let's see how that looks. All right, that was super duper bright. Because I'm zooming in the flash power is gonna be essentially brighter here. So I'm gonna do a couple of things. One, I am gonna lower down, well, we'll keep the flash as it is. What I'll do is I'll actually raise my f-stop and see what that looks like, all right? It's gonna change the overall exposure too, so my background's gonna get even darker, which I actually want. Now we're getting a little bit closer. Let's get a little bit darker here. Let's go to 2.8, and let's change my flash settings again. Oops. Let's go down even lower. All right, and then from here, we should just be able to move things around a little bit. You know what would help also? Yes, this is doing much better. I'm gonna turn this around, maybe backwards and up a little bit. Probably right around there. There we go. I'm just gonna keep playing with the tilt of it till I get what I'm looking for. There we go. A little bit more dramatic. I'm gonna turn it this way, more on the side. Yep, right there. I'm gonna make this come super close to you. Lower my flash power one more time. Nice. Cool. All right, so with those photos, a little bit harder of a light source, definitely still a little bit bright, but I'll probably bring that down exposure-wise, as opposed to, just to compare, before we were kind of all super bright and then nice soft light, as opposed to this, a little bit more dramatic. Let's go ahead and look at these a little bit closer in Lightroom. Before we jump into this, make sure that you download my free posing inspiration guide. We could all use some inspiration. Get that in the link below with lots of ideas on how to pose groups and individuals. I am so pleased with how these photos came out. I really didn't think, honestly, I would get such a bright, vibrant photo just using that little flash and entry-level camera. Now the fun of this, because everything is red, I could pop in here and mess around with the hue and change that red either to pink or more towards an orange. I'm gonna leave it as is, and my goal in editing these photos really is just to brighten the skin. And I did take the blue out of her jeans, really out of the whole photo completely, just because I felt it was a bit distracting. Some of the other things I messed around with was looking at the vignette to see if maybe darkening the outsides would make it look like I had another light source lighting the background, but ultimately didn't do what I want. Also messed around with a little bit of black and white, and that didn't quite give me what I was looking for either. So ended up sticking with that nice vibrant red that I absolutely loved and going over each of the photos with a little bit of retouching in Lightroom. My brushes are there on the right so you can see them, or you can grab them at presets.breatheyourpassion.com. Those local adjustment brushes, they're just amazing for skin smoothing, brightening the eyes, and fixing just those little things. Even doing a little bit of contouring and just enhancing the shadows that are already there. A little bit of a before and after for you. I just went ahead and did this on all of the photos. Didn't really take any time at all. In fact, I think this took about 10 minutes total, getting everything that I wanted to get done, punching the lashes, brightening the eyes, smoothing out the skin, and ending up with 3 final photos that I was really happy with. I did have to come in and fix both sides of the background paper because I hit the edge on both of those sides and it's noticeable. So I had to go ahead and fix that there. Not a huge deal. I actually ended up just cropping it a little bit because that worked out a little bit better. Out of the 3 that you saw me edit, here are my final 2 favorites. I had a lot of fun taking them, definitely happy with the results. Thanks for joining me from start to finish on this shoot. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at what you can do with just this itty bitty little flash that's pretty powerful, especially in studio settings like this. Don't be limited just because it's little, you can always make it big. I'm Vanessa Joy here for Adorama TV. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, all the things, and I'll see you next time.